can't believe I'm talking about the progeny of Will Smith, or Jada Pinkett Smith, for that matter. But Willow Smith is out with a new album called Empathogen. Willow Smith's been making music for 10 years or something like that. You know, when I was a kid, I remember hearing this garbage song, I whip my hair back and forth, I whip my hair back and forth. And then that's all I've known, really. Familiar in 2022, she released the album Coping Mechanism, which a lot of people are apparently fans of. It's this like gritty pop punk kind of sound, but I feel like you can hear the influences that she's inspired by on it. Like you can hear a lot of Paramore, Evanescence, and then like Deftones and stuff like that. But I feel like that album never really goes far from that point. But Willow, to her credit, has always been jumping genres from album to album. And Empathogen, I feel like, is a huge step up in her songwriting abilities and genre jumping. So, talking a little about Willow, but if we're talking about influences on this album and unique ones compared to prior ones, there's a lot of, little math rock, little chamber pop. If I have to choose one album that I think is most relevant for Willow Smith's Empathogen, it would be In Rainbows, about Radiohead. There's a lot of Radiohead feel on this in general. I'm not even going to talk anymore about that. So let's talk about the songs a little bit. To be clear, I think that this is a great album. It opens with the song Home. And Home, right from the get-go, you hear that Willow has incredible vocal control. If you've been following her for a bit, I'm sure that you already knew this. I personally didn't appreciate how much control she has over her vocals. I'm an instrument rock kind of guy. So vocals don't mean a ton to me, but when they're good, they're good. And like Home, you know that you're getting into something interesting. So it's got, vocal control. You got some serious rhythmic fuckery. Okay, if we were switching, from the get-go, we're switching time signatures for different rhythmic feel and stuff like that. If ever, during this album, it's full of polyrhythms, weird, odd time signatures. You want to delve into that a little bit more, I gotta give you Polygon Wonderland by King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard. Listen to this. If you want to discover more of that, you'll learn so much, and then come back to Empathogen. They're the same. It's so worth it. Totally normal album to listen to after this. Rhythmic fuckery. As I mentioned, this song Home, it touches jazz, it touches bossa nova, and it goes so seamlessly through those genres with such confidence. I was like, okay, it's time to settle in. It grabs me from the very beginning with its creativity. And then after that, we go into Ancient Girl. Ancient Girl is the song that most gave me that Radiohead feeling. We got a finger style kind of plucked guitar, something that you'd imagine would be played in a Johnny Greenwood Radiohead guitar part in the background, and like the way that her vocal line goes, it has that Radiohead feel. There's a lot of throughout this album, there's a lot of pop music. Most things are in like a major key or a minor key, but there's a lot of songs that aren't. But throughout Empathogen, Willow is utilizing different modes and different sounds to mix sounds that are both happy and sad together to create these whole interesting feels. I know that's a sick like a gross oversimplification, but take the next song, Symptom of Life. This is the first single that I heard, and to be honest, it's why I listened to this album day one, because it's my favorite song so far this year. Symptom of Life, those initial chords that the piano is playing at the beginning, they sound insane, right? They're just stumbling around, but it kind of has a minor feel for the first three, and then it resolves to a major chord at the end. And I know that's just one small example, but that's indicative of the amount with which she's playing with different musical rules and inventions on these songs in a way that makes them really interesting to me as not really a pop listener trying to listen to it for the first time. So I talked a little bit about Ancient Girl. Symptom of Life, I love. Okay, I saw a David Bennett piano video on it, so I'm just going to steal some stuff from him, but you should watch it yourself. Main verse, it's in like a weird 7/4. And you're listening to a pop song in 7/4, like the last time that's happened was with Money by Pink Floyd, which is a pop song. And then we hit that chorus, nice hard hitting chorus, which is in a solid 4/4, which I think that difference, that juxtaposition allows it to groove so much harder. I heard Symptom of Life once. The whole thing is memorized. It's locked deep in the hard drive. I can hear the bass part in my head. I can hear the drums. Ooh. in the piano. I wish I could parse. My ear's not good enough to parse the piano part, but that's a great song. And then right after Symptom of Life, we got like song off of after Symptom of Life. The Fear Is Not Real is one of the more weaker songs that I'd like one of the weaker songs in this album. A couple other ones I talk about like are like Down. The good thing about The Fear Is Not Real is that it's still, even though I feel like it's not melodically the most interesting, the production is still kept interesting. And I didn't lose interest in the album as it was going. If I'm listening to it again, I might skip it. But like it's still tied in with the album well and kept going. Other songs like Down, which I don't think is very good. It's like a minute. It's less than a minute and a half. There are a couple songs on here that, while they are weaker entries in the album, it's only a minute and a half. And this album is like 32, 36 minutes long. It's a breeze to get through. So even those duller moments are fine because they're in between these great songs. After that, we got talking about how I complain a little bit about coping mechanisms. We got False Self. False Self, I mean, Symptom of Life is my favorite song off of it, but False Self might be my second favorite. I talked about the vocal gymnastics that she's able to go through on this album, and False Self in particular. She gets into the grittier post-punk, but she just switches between soaring harmony, that post-punk, so seamlessly, and with such talent. Like I feel like she can do, like, from a singing perspective, she could do anything. She could like sing any song, tie any genre into one song together. False Self was a really impressive song for me. It worked as such a fun foil to the prior songs on the album too. Even if she's done that pop punk sound in the past, she didn't do it on this album. So it was a fun juxtaposition with the other songs on it. It's funky, it's fun pop punk. That's a great song. And then my next favorite song off of this has got to be Run. Like lyrically, I'm sure it's doing nothing. I'm not paying attention too much to the lyrics, but it's a fun, catchy jam. The second half of it is it's a cathartic, fun, enjoyable song evolution. Like it's creative. It's a good time. Like even Big Feelings at the end, one of the singles she released. That was not my favorite song for her, but it's just got such a chaotic vibe. Like chaotic, I think is the right word for it. That listening to it the first time, it was enjoyable. It drew me into the lyrics, to the messaging she was trying to get across. Overall, it is Empathogen my like favorite album of the year or something like that. Am I going to be buying it physically? I don't think so, but I actually really enjoyed it. I'm going to be going back and listening to it again, and I cannot believe that I am standing a child of Will Smith. But you know what? I'm immediately taking it back. Right? I'm a fan. I'm a fan of Willow Smith. I'm going to be following everything that she does because this is a great step up, and it's a show that she has some really strong talent. All right. I hope you have a great day. You deserve it, and I'll see you next time.